Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm a fan of anything science fiction and robotics related. So this week I decided to do a Mezzotint print series based on Isaac Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics. So this video is going to be based on Law 1. Also leave a comment down below and let me know who your favorite science fiction author or book is. I'd love to know what you guys are into. Alright, so let's get into the video. So the first step of this print is to come up with my initial sketch. And I'm drawing it a lot bigger than the actual print's going to be. Once I darken up the lines, I then scan into the computer, scale it down to the right size, and then print it back out, flipped in reverse. Then using transfer paper, I transfer the image onto the pre-rocked Mezzotint plate. And if you want to see a video of how to get the plate rocked, I'll put a link down in the description box and in this annotation. So now I go through the plate, scraping down the burrs until I get the image to the point that I'm happy with it, ready to run the first proof. To run my proofs, I'm using Aqua water-based ink. It's really easy to clean up. You can just wash your hands in between proofs and not have to worry about cleaning up with all the solvents when you're doing your regular printing. But for the final edition, I'm using oil-based inks. So here's the first proof. You can see it's very dark and there's not much detail shown. And I also decided I don't like the background. I was going to have a gradient going from dark to light, but I decided to get rid of that and do something a little bit different that you'll see later in the video. So now I do another round of scraping the plate and burnishing down the background so I can get a nice smooth background. So now I run another proof to see how it's looking and figure out what my next steps are to get it to look how I want. I decided I need to lighten up some of the highlights, and some of the buildings didn't stand out how I wanted them to, so I adjusted those. So now using graphic chemical blue-black ink, I go ahead and ink up the plate for the final proof. So to get the background of the print to look how I want, I roll up a rainbow roll of blue and white ink. Then using the brayer, I roll directly over the pre-inked Mezzotint plate. And since the blue and white ink is on top of the black ink on the Mezzotint plate, it'll print in that order. So you'll have the background and then the Mezzotint print on top of that. And here's the proof, and we're ready to work on the embossing. So for this print, I'm doing an embossing onto the paper, so I wanted to transfer the print onto a piece of linoleum. And this is clear linoleum, which is great for when you're doing embossing, because you can be sure that there's no ink on it, because you can see through it and make sure that you have it clean before you run it through the press. So I draw the shape onto the linoleum that I want to cut out, then I go ahead and use my linoleum tools and cut out the shape. Finally, using the template that I created, I place the linoleum onto the press bed, and then position the paper in the correct location and run it through the press. And here we have our final print with the embossing. Alright, so that's it for this print. When I do part 2 and 3 of this series, I'll put a link down in the description box. And if you have any questions about this video, leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to answer. And I really appreciate you guys liking the video if you did like it and subscribing to the channel to help it keep growing. And I'll see you next week. Thanks.